Hi, thanks very much for joining us today to talk about social innovation. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Neven Marinovic. I come from a Belgrade-based NGO called Smart Collective.
Hi, thanks very much. So today we want to talk a bit about social innovation, what's been happening and where's it going. So can you tell us, about social innovation in the last sort of 10 years in Serbia? What's it been doing and what has it been achieving?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it's important for us to kind of understand the context in which we operate, or in which social innovation can or cannot be developing in Serbia. So a little bit more than 10 years, Serbia has exited a very traumatic period in its
Yeah.
history, which was mainly how to say, which was mainly around conflicts and wars and poverty and practically the all the aspects of a society were kind of diminished, in that way. So in 2000, another process started, which was, a process of transition or democratization, of renewing the economy and, introducing some kind of a new trends and models in all spheres. So I think, in that sense, we can, really say that, the past 10, 15 years have seen a positive trend and improvement. On the other hand, we can see that a lot of promises have not been met, and a lot of things have did not happen. And I think looking back, I think we kind of thought that situation would be much better in
Yeah.
2015, 2014. So to be more concrete, I would say one of the reasons why it didn't happen, because we needed to deal with the basics as a country. So social innovation in a way comes at a later stage of once you have the institutions established and once the country is running up and running properly. On the other hand, I think we missed some opportunities, and the country is still very centralized, not in terms of only on how the country is governed, but in terms of the mindset. So people would still be not enough entrepreneurial. There is a lack of innovation in all the spheres. People who still relying on the government or on some entity out there to solve their own problems. Rather than like doing it by themselves. And just to understand the context, 67% of young people in Serbia at this moment wants to work for the state
Oh,
administration. Yes, so
Okay.
it's not that they do not want to be entrepreneurs; it's they do not want to work for well-established or companies that are paying well, like international companies, because they see the job within the public sector as more secure. So if you have 20-year-olds that are thinking about getting a job where they will stay for 50 years, that's not like a good climate for innovation, as you can
Yeah,
as you can
definitely.
understand. On the other hand, there were some I would say movements or improvements. We even had like the state develop a fund for social innovation, which unfortunately did not solve its purpose. It was more for funding different projects, sometimes good, sometimes not that good, but like really lose its focus on social innovation as itself. And then they found some misdoings and wrongdoings in the fund, so it ended ceased to exist at the end of the day. There were some tries of getting the mostly in the social welfare system and the provision of social services to kind of be more innovative and like to outsource them to social enterprises and to some non-governmental organization and non-profits rather than the state does it all.
Yeah.
But this has seen, I would say, an improvement, and there are more and more social services provided by through innovative solutions by social enterprises and non-profits. But unfortunately, this has not become systematic, and the state and the local self-government still are, not really willing to, share this responsibility with other sectors and to, and finally, when it comes to, broader social innovation, and I think we have been lagging behind, and as if you look at the fact that our economy is and our GDP is a half of what we used to have in 1989, you know,
Right.
it gives you an example of why we cannot be at the forefront of social innovations in Europe. But I think, taken in the context in which we operate, I would definitely see that there is some, positive movement, and I would say the opening of the country, the EU accession process, the foreign investors coming in, the change of the climate and the mindset, more successful social entrepreneurs, and civil society scene, have helped a lot in order for the social innovation to kind of be more recognized and kind of used as a tool for positive change.
Okay. And as we look maybe more into the future then, as social innovation develops in Serbia, do you think there's potential for it to address concrete challenges that citizens are facing? So maybe housing or things like that?
I think there are many challenges, and of course every country is very special, and every country thinks that they're a unique case, and so is the same case with Serbia. And we usually hear people in Serbia, once you would present them an idea or a concept, they would say, well, that would never work in Serbia because we are, and then I experience people say it in much more developed countries, oh, that would never work here. So I think definitely we have a problem with poverty. We have huge problem with youth unemployment. We have more than 50% of unemployment among young people, which kind of relates to the things I mentioned before, that there is a lack of entrepreneurial culture and a lack of generally entrepreneurial mindset among the population. So I think social innovation can address a lot of these things. Still we have a pretty a population of young people that get fair education, but unfortunately we still have a brain drain. So these people kind of go abroad to continue their education and then work as professionals rather than stay in the country, because the country does not offer enough chances for them. So I think in the future we will be looking into basically, I think, mainly the social area for social innovations, that some really concrete but not large scale and not national scale, but I would say that we need to focus, and that we will be focusing more on very concrete municipality and its problems, or very concrete like a small group in a specific area, and that we would have social innovations in that sphere, that as a grassroots initiatives that we can then build up, or that can use as a motivation. I don't think that and I think we should stop looking at the government or national institutions to provide one size fits all kind of answers to the questions that we have, and like to legislation that would actually solve the problems, because it will not.
Okay. Thanks very much for sharing your insights into the situation in Serbia, and hopefully the Social Innovation Europe community can start working together to answer some of these questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
and I
much.
hope so too. Thank you.